YETicket.com. I'm here. I'm talking to Azia Dinea Hale. She's in the new movie called Mordecai, and it was shot here in South Florida. Man, and her character, man, this character is named Nina, but what she's going to go through in this film, I've never heard of this before. This is very imaginative. Well, it could be real too, but I like this character. Azia, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, tell us about Nina.
Yeah, so she is a girl who basically finds out something pretty traumatic that goes on within her family, and she decides to flee her hometown to Southern Florida and rewrite the wrongs of her family's past. And while doing so, she meets a man called Mordecai through her job, and they together form a really strong relationship that teaches one another a lot about forgiveness and compassion and acceptance. She plays a pretty pivotal part in the film.
Yeah, and in the background, Judd Hirsch plays Mordecai, and you had a lot of scenes with him, and right now he's nominated for an Academy Award. And how was it working with this guy? He's been around a long time. I've been watching him for decades, television and movies. So how was it working with him?
It was amazing. I, of course, was, a little nervous at first, but the moment I met him, the very first day we actually worked together was a montage. And by this point in the film, our friendship was already established. So it was very important that the chemistry was really there, even though we hadn't met each other before this. And it was just like we had known each other for years. It was a very honest and real connection that took place with us, friendship that took place with us off camera. And yeah, he was amazing. Took me under his wing. He was very protective of me and very caring and kind. And I'm very grateful to have worked with someone like him.
Yeah. And also, also Carol Kane.
Mm-hmm.
She's in this film too. But let's talk about the director real quick. And I like what he did. And he really, he brought this film to life. And it's really based on his, like Marvin. He really based this on his life and his experience in life, Marvin Samuel. Now, when he approached you or when you auditioned for this, how was his approach? How did he convince you to say, hey, I would like to work in this film?
So I had a phone call with him after I did the audition, and he basically gave me the entire rundown of his vision for Nina, and sent me the script and everything. I read it all, and I fell in love with her, but I also fell in love with the story itself and everything that it stood for. And I feel like it was just a very heartwarming but funny story about a family that's a little dysfunctional. And I just felt like it was something that I hadn't seen before. And I think for him, it was just very important that it was very understood what he was aiming to do and really make it as authentic as possible, because his family really is, when you meet Mordecai, it truly is how it is. Like, his family really is like how we see in the film.
Right. And whose family isn't dysfunctional these days?
Yeah,
I tell you. And tell me a little about yourself. How did you get into acting?
So I am originally from Delaware, born and raised. I was a dancer for 13 years of my life, and I've always loved.
What type of dancer? What type of dancer were you?
Ballet, tap, jazz, a little bit of partner dancing, a little bit of contemporary.
So you love to dance?
Yes, I love to perform and I love to dance, yes.
Oh, okay.
And, I knew I always wanted to do something on stage. Like, it was a dream of mine to be a Rockette for the longest time. But anyway,
well, that still can be possible.
I don't know. Well, maybe, dream big. So I was talking to my mom one day. I was like, what else can I do that's performative and that really shows a lot of emotion, because I'm also a very emotional person and I like to put that out there. And she recommended acting. So I found a monologue online and I put myself on tape just for fun, just to see if I would like it, if I could memorize like lines and everything. I was like, let me just see if I can do this. And I ended up really enjoying it. And my mom was secretly recording it when I had done it. And she sent it off to some managers in Los Angeles, and one had gotten back to her and asked if I could go out to Los Angeles and meet with them. So I did that. I auditioned for them, and that was how I got my first manager, who started sending me auditions, and graduated from high school and then made the move in 2016 to Los Angeles. And I've just been trying to do it ever since. Been doing
Oh,
it.
yeah. Yeah. And I see a couple of your credits. You were in the Fast and Furious 9.
Yes, I was.
And
I played young.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Now, this movie, Mordecai, you shot it down here in my home state, Florida. And I'm sure, were you used to the weather? I don't know what months they shot it in. Was it too hot for you, too humid for you? What?
Um, we came in November and December, so it
Oh,
wasn't,
those are the best months to
yeah,
live down here.
it wasn't too bad. But I will say, even though I'm from Delaware, I got very used to Los Angeles weather very quickly. And so I think the humidity took me a minute to get used to, but I enjoy it. I love it here. It's so beautiful.
Now, tell us one of your best moments while you were acting in the film Mordecai. Tell us a couple of good moments that surprised you or that you cannot forget about in performing in the film Mordecai.
I mean, I think just being able to work with such an amazing cast is like,
The
I
whole thing, huh?
incredible. Yeah, I watched Carol Kane when I was younger. She was my favorite character in the Addams Family. You know, I've seen
Yeah.
Sean Astin in Lord of the Rings. Like I love everyone that was involved, and it was just an overall really incredible experience. And I think just being able to watch them, like I would just go on set when I wasn't even working, just so that I could watch them perform and see how they got into character, and what techniques and tricks that they did to make their characters come to life. I think that was just, it was just a huge learning experience for me, like one that I'm very, very, very grateful for.
And also with this experience and with these professional people that you're working with, did you feel that, well, you learned something from them? Or did you feel that you can keep up with them? I know you say you were nervous at first
Mhm.
when you met a couple of actors, but after the experience was over, how did you feel as far as your talent and things like that?
It's a hard question. You know, I think for me, I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. I like things to feel, I'm not sure I'll ever really feel like, you know, I was like one and done. But I think that's the beauty of acting, is you're always learning with each character. It's always a new thing. And I
Right.
love the challenge of that, you know. So I think for me, I'm of course very proud of the work that I have, but I know that there's things that I learned from each one of them that I will for always be using in the future, and keep in mind with future characters and future sets that I'm on. But yeah, I am overall very, very proud of the work that all of that came out of it all. So
Well, good. And I really enjoyed your performance in the film. And I really enjoyed the film. At first, I didn't think I was going to like the film. But
mhm.
then when I got into the film, I truly enjoyed it. And I really was enthralled by your character. But keep up the good work. And I'm glad to meet you. I'm glad that you took time with me, Al McGee, here at yeticket.com. And please, much more success to you and your future, okay?
Thank you so much. I very much appreciate that. Thank you. Very
Thank
nice to
you.
meet you.